Hey, welcome back, knife nerds and everyday carry people. Today I would like to have a look at this slip joint knife that I happen to have picked up. It is a Boker slip joint, Boker Tree brand, I do believe. And at the store, I do believe in here, the price tag was around 65, 70 bucks. I picked this up last year or so, and I was kind of starting to get into the slip joints. But the one thing I did notice when I picked it up at the store, it was actually, this scale was down. And I had noticed, and I'm not sure if you can see this, but you can see that there happens to be a crack here. And the scale was loose and wiggling around, and it was all cracked all along here, and pieces were missing. So I'm going to show you how to repair this. So this looks like, I'm not sure if this is an actual jigged bone or if it is a kind of a cyolite or cellulose or a plastic of some sort, but this repair should work with a jigged bone. It should work with some plastic. It's absolutely a fantastic repair medium for not only this type of doable, not only this type of repair, also a plastic repair in general. Okay, so what I'm going to actually use, I'm going to use some cyanoacrylate glue, which here I work for a company called Worth Canada, and we sell shop supplies. And I've had this for probably about going on close to 4 years, and finally the end is glued itself together. So I'm going to have to use a stick and kind of drop it in there. And the other thing to use is actually baking soda. Now, the two of them together, they create a really incredibly strong bond, and it also allows you to kind of open it, kind of build up to as well. So if you've got a large crack, or if you're dealing with a large crack and you need to fill it in, then you actually use the cyanoacrylate or crazy glue and the baking powder together, or baking soda together, and they'll actually react to each other, and it'll create a bond. I do believe that is twice as strong as the glue just by itself. So let's have a quick look here. So now what I'm going to do here is I'm going to see if I can add just a little bit here, because here it seems to be filled up filled up even with the back springs there in a little bit of a scale, and there too as well. So I'm not sure if you can see where I have repaired already. I've actually repaired a crack along here, and this here all along the top is all glue and baking powder. So let's give this a little bit of a go, and we'll see if we can repair this for everybody to be able to repair it themselves if they have to do it again. So just all I need to do is take a little bit of glue here and just fill in some glue, and there we go. So very, very simple. And I'm just going to add a little bit more glue here along this crack, because it seems like it's wiggling just a bit. And the other magic thing you do is just take a little bit of, just going to grab some paper here so I don't get this all over the place, and just drop that on there. And there. How simple was that? Just drops on top there. So now it almost like it cures instantly too as well. So there we go. Just kind of rub it in. And you can see there that she needs to set a little bit more. Now we'll add some more glue here. Doesn't seem to be building up like it normally does. Like I said, this glue is quite old and she's a little bit jelly. So we'll see if we can perhaps, there we go, take that out. Just drop it in there, and now we'll let it set up for a bit. There we go. And just like butter, we've got that kind of built up. Okay, so I need to let this sit and cure for a bit, so I will I will pause this, and when it has had the chance to set up, I will come back at you and we'll see if we can finish this off. All right, guys, see you in a second. All right, now we're back after a little bit of time here. Not too long here, probably 3 or 4 minutes, and it seems to have set up. So now what you'll want to do here is you'll want to kind of get your a little bit of a file and kind of file it down a little bit, because it can be filed, this type of baking soda and glue mixture. And let's just see if I can perhaps, oh, excuse me, see if we can kind of maybe cut it here a little bit and see if we can perhaps peel off our tape. As you can see here, it seems to be coming off rather well, and I might have to do a little bit of with this bolster here. No, I don't want to scratch it. Just kind of maybe want to score it a little bit, and there we go. Just give it a little bit of a score, and she's seems to kind of snap off. So a little bit more in the back here. We'll see if we can give that just a little bit more of a score to get off. And now you can see now it has been completely built up here. And now we got to get this off here a little bit. And you can see it snap. I don't really want to get too hard here with, or too rammy with this knife blade here and score up the bolsters. But now what you'll want to do is you'll want to take a file or some sandpaper, and all you need to do now is just give it a little bit of a sand. And, you know, kind of file it down. Files quite nicely. And over time, it'll still harden up a little bit more. You know, I probably would let it sit for quite some time yet. If I had to, I would let it sit for quite some time if I wasn't doing a video. When I did fix this originally, I did not immediately start to file it, although you can. I let it sit for probably 2-3 hours till it was nice and hard, and then started my filing. So now you can see here where it's completely built up, and just for the sake of expediency here, I probably would be filing this a little bit nicer, but I'm just going to show you what I ended up doing. And this particular time I'm going to use just a plain old marker. You could use some dye, but it readily accepts coloring to it. So you can use a marker, a permanent marker. You can use some dye, but I mean, it looks so much better than if it was just a straight glue fix, right? So you can see here, there we go. So that's just to kind of give you an idea here. This is kind of a cheesy marker that I had laying around. I didn't really want to, you know, run out and go pick up a marker that's perfect right now. But, you know, in order to fix it properly, I will grab a better marker, or like I said, you could use some Rit dye and finish it off there. So as you can see here, I'm just trying to get a little bit of the stuff off here at the end, just to smooth out. So now this here on the end, you can just kind of slowly whittle off or sand off. There you go. And then just mark it in. So now we've got a little bit of the end here, and I'll give it a little bit more of a sand just to finish it off. But it is a complete perfect fix. The bolster is not going to go anywhere, and it will harden up more over time. And it allowed me to pick this knife up for very inexpensive, about 20 bucks. And as you can see here, even the Jigged Bone here on the side, you know, at a quick glance, you can't even hardly tell, you know, the difference between the two. So that's just kind of a quick job to show you how to repair some of your bolsters just using this cyanoacrylate or crazy glue and something as simple as baking powder. So I hope this has helped somebody else out. So now, thanks for stopping by. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe. And also, please, you know, remember to keep your stick on the ice, the shiny side up, and